Hey folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Yashtable's Book Club. The book, or rather the audiobook which we are reviewing today is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Ronald Read versus Richard Fuscon. These were two different people. Ronald Read was a janitor who was making some little money, but whatever he used to make, he used to invest. After his 4 to 5 decades of work, when he died, he left around $8 million in his account to be distributed in the local hospital and schools. This surprised and shocked not only you and me, but also his very close friends as to when and how did he make so much money. Well, what he did was he invested whatever little he made and then allowed compounding to take its effect. On the other hand, there is Richard Fuscon. He was a big-time lawyer making ton loads of money. What he did, he overspent on a house which had 11 washrooms for people of 2. That's just one small example, but you get the point. Eventually, the 2008 recession took place, the economy collapsed, and so he collapsed as well. His house was in fact sold at 25% of its total worth. So doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. Usually humans have a keeping up with the Jonas's mentality. Capitalism is good for both building wealth and envy. Social comparison is a never-ending game, as there will always be someone higher up in the ladder. One of the hardest parts in life is getting the goalpost to stop moving, to understand and accept how much is enough. Wealth is basically freedom, control of how you spend your time. In quotes, the ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, and for as long as you want is priceless. Unquote. The greatest dividend that money gives is the control of our time. Research has shown that having objective control of your life is one of the most important predictors of long-term happiness. There was a study done of over 1,000 elderly people, and not even a single person said that spend your entire life running after money and one day you will be happy. Picture this. You see a fancy car on the road. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? It's probably, if I had that car, people would think I would look cool and successful. But we rarely think that the person driving this car currently is cool and successful. Subconscious or not, this is how humans think. When people try to signal that they are wealthy, successful, and that people would admire them, what happens is that people ignore the person who earns the object and focus on the object. You may think that you want a huge house, luxury, and possessions, but you don't. You actually want respect and admiration from other people, and you think that these items will bring it, but it never does. Humility, kindness, and empathy will bring you more respect than fancy cars and watches ever will. What's the difference between wealth and rich? People with big incomes are rich. They display it by living in oversized luxury homes, wearing fancy clothes, whereas wealth is hidden. It is income which is saved and invested. Many wealthy people like Warren Buffett live very modest lives. Wealth provides you options, flexibility, and freedom. We can't see into people's bank accounts to get an idea of their investment portfolios, therefore we judge them based on the outward appearance. The author quotes about another book about why humans cannot lose weight easily. And there was one study which was found which said that if you ask people who do exercise how much calorie have they lost, if you ask them to guesstimate, they would usually say a number which was 4 times than the actual number. They were nowhere close to the real number. And then what happens is they go home and consume double the food they usually consume, thinking that they have lost 4 times the calories. And similarly, exercise is like being rich. It gives you the false impression that you have actually earned a lot of money. Many people who are rich are in fact a few months away from losing it all if their income stops. The only way to develop wealth is not to spend the money you earn and to invest wisely. Think twice about making judgments next time you see someone living a modest life. They may as well be the next Ronald Reed. There are a couple of quotes I would like to narrate which were there in this book, which I thought are quite good. In what other industry does someone with no college degree, no training, no background, no formal experience and no connections massively outperform someone with the best education, the best training and the best connections? It's wealth. Since it's hard to quantify luck and rude to suggest people's success is owed to it, the default stance is often to implicitly ignore luck as a factor of success. Money relies more on psychology than finance. Intangible benefits of money are far more capable of increasing your happiness than tangible things that are obvious targets of our savings. Things that have never happened before happen all the time. Planning on your plan, not going according to your plan, is something you should always plan. Every job looks easy when you are not the one doing it. This is a great book about some financial tips from a very experienced author who actually practices it in his life. Must read for this generation. With that, I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Take care.